Our next speaker, our student speaker for today is Krish Tanwani. Krish is a 16-year-old 11th grade student who has been actively taking part in various competitions, including the Mars Spelling Bee, the World Scholars Cup, etc. He has various interests, but his passion is in writing poetry and articles. He is here to share his story, which none of you have heard before, and he hopes that it is something you all learn from and apply in life. Now I present to you our student speaker, Krish Tanwani.
Good afternoon, everybody. Most of you do not know me. I am Krish Tanwani, a 16-year-old student of the ISC section of JML. And today I am here to share with you a story. A story which for some might be an inspiration, while for some might be a flashback of what they must have gone through in their lives. But before I start with the story, you need to understand the theme. The theme or the topic for today is mental health. Now, mental health is not something which is always shown outside. It is something which at times keeps killing the person from inside. And like a wise man once said, that the happiest of faces have the saddest of stories behind them. So now when I talk about my experience, it won't only be what happened with me, but also what I learned from it and what you all can take from it. So let's start right from the beginning. Many of us in the audience must have given some kind of exams in the past, or maybe our exams must have been cancelled. Now, anytime you hear this news, you are like, wow, a burden is up. But I mean, that's what I used to feel till maybe 21st of October. But the incident that took place then just changed me, my thinking, and my approach towards exams forever. Now, it was 21st of October 2019, and I was completely in a state of stress. My previous counselor had told me that I need to get these many marks to get admission after 10th in this place, that place. After 12th, go here, go there. I was deciding about a point where I didn't even know what would happen. And then I had 2 full portions the next day. I was sure that I wouldn't sleep that night because I had to complete everything. I hadn't even started. So after having pizza and a cup of coffee, the worst combination anyone can ever have, I sat down to study at 11:30. After about an hour at 12:30 in the night, I feel dizzy. I go to the washroom thinking I'm sleepy and wash my face. And I come out and it doesn't help at all. I feel even more dizzy and I feel as if, I'm breathless. So I go out into the hall, try to walk around, try to lie down, but it doesn't help. So I check my pulse. My oxygen was going down and my pulse was going up. It went up to 90, it went up to 120. And at that point I said I need to wake my mom up. She checked my pulse again and it was 140. Suddenly, my pulse was just double of 80 and I was rushed to Lilavati Hospital. The 5-minute ride to the Lilavati Hospital took just 45 seconds. It was so fast that I couldn't breathe in that fast jet plane in which I was traveling. Life took such a turn. Suddenly in the hospital and didn't know what was happening. I started shivering there. I again felt breathless. My heart rate went up to 160 and I started to panic. My chest started to pain, my body was paining, I was going all numb and my mom was screaming. I didn't really know what was happening with me. So I just thought, save me. Now, I was taken to the ICU and I had needles all over my hand. I had the blood pressure checking machine constantly on me. I had BP tablets and I had many more medications and tests done. Reports came and doctors used terms which I still don't understand. But on some kind of self-introspection, when I reached home after 3 days, I realized that it was because of the excess of stress and anxiety that I took. Our mind is like a balloon and the stress inside the mind is like the air inside the balloon. The more you fill in the air, the greater the chance to burst that balloon. So I came back home after 3 painful days and thought it was all fine, but the memories kept playing in my mind. So I experienced similar symptoms twice, and but because of the doctor's advice, I tackled it at home. But the incident just broke me and my confidence, and I always kept on thinking and checking my pulse. That's how bad the impact was. I thought let's have a different approach towards the way I study. So I took a break from studies for the next few months, and it was the rat race in which I was, the rat race to the top of the ranking table, which I always wanted to be. But then I realized that it is of no use. I was now happy, enjoying playing, but at some part in my mind, the memories of me and that incident was constantly hitting me. And I kept experiencing breathlessness, acids in my stomach, and a lot of uncomfort during the month of November and December. And I used to keep checking my pulse at night to see, if it's working or no. But then the mind can be the best friend or it can be the greatest enemy. And at that time, my entire body was my greatest enemy. But one fine day in June, my parents came up to me and said, "Okay, it's enough. You have to live life every moment that you're alive and not think of things which are not in your control. Whatever has to happen will happen. We need to make things happen at that very moment." The entire journey from October to June wasn't an easy one. And I really thank those who were a part of it. But I learned a lot from it and would like to share it now in front of you all. Life is a journey. People say it's a challenge. No, it is a journey which has its own challenges. You need to overcome those challenges as various phases and come out of it in such a strong manner that any other challenge which comes your way, you can fight it back with greater will. After the darkness comes the sunrise, and after every bad phase in life comes a good phase. Just enjoy life every moment. Everything has to perish in the cycle of time, be it the richest man in the world, the strongest warrior, the greatest scholar. All have an end at some point or the other. Nothing is permanent. Love everything that you do. Love your studies, enjoy your studies, but never get attached to anything. Do not get attached to the fact that the sun without any protection, it just turns blind. Every year the rivers go dry in summers, but do they really give up? No, they don't. During the monsoons, they flow with such great force that any village or city surrounding it is just devastated and in a state of flood. What happened to me was because I made the mistake of not venting out or not speaking to anybody. It is very important to vent out your feelings, your emotions to people around you, be it your parents, your best friend, your teachers, anybody. People say parents have an age gap, but I feel they are the best advisors in life. When you choose your friends, it is very important to choose the right ones. Because if you choose the wrong friends, you end up doing wrong actions in the future. God decides everything for us except the company that we keep. And even I made a mistake back then, which I have rectified right now. And I give you an example of a sword and a needle. You will say that the sword is much more powerful as compared to the needle. But the needle is used by you in the simplest of tasks in life, which the sword cannot do. And your friends, which you think are of no use, are actually like the needle, which really help you in the moments when the others don't. A perfect example of friendship can be that of milk and water. When milk, which has some water mixed in it, is boiled, the water does not like the fact that the milk is taking up all the heat, so it takes it up first and evaporates out. The milk, on the other hand, overflows till you put a certain amount of water to cool it down and compensate for the loss of water. In my experience, what I went through, it was what people may call a bad phase or, a dark phase. But I learned so much in these 6 to 7 months that I can say that it was a growing phase. I grew so much that my approach towards life and my thinking towards life changed. It's a long time I was told I'm good in studies, I should get 100 in boards, I should get an all India rank. If I pushed, I could do this, I could do that. And I did push myself till that very incident. And, I always thought, what is the point? But I kept pushing because, whenever I tried to raise my voice against this, there were teachers who felt I'm arrogant. There were parents who felt that I'm just not doing anything what is right. So I did as they demanded. But then after that incident, I decided that I will say a no. A no to things which I feel are going wrong. A no to things which I feel aren't going according to me. So, marks and ranks, according to me, are a farce. Starts a new term, like say a new beginning, a new year. They start by saying you have so many months left for your exam, you have to complete this much portion in these many months, you have 3 questions coming for 15 marks, 4 questions for 6 marks, you have to write these many points. But do they ever talk about the new learning, the new experience, the new exposure, the new subjects that you're going to get? No, all we hear is that you have 9 months for your boards, you have to finish your portion in 6 months, the remaining 3 months will give you revision papers, I mean, that's how boring school has become nowadays. Knowledge is a duty, but the race for marks is greed. Keep doing your duty, but do not indulge in this race for marks. Life is like a chariot. The horses in the front are the actions, the karma that you do, and the wheels behind are the fruit of your actions. The direction in which you take your life is the path for 2 days. My confidence broke. I did not want to study. I felt that if I study more, maybe I get it again. So I didn't study at all till my prelims ended. And I got an 82 without studying in the prelims. So I thought maybe if I push a bit more, I'll get an 86, 88 in the boards. The people around me thought I was joking when I said I didn't study, but I actually didn't study. And when I saw my results, it was 96.2 in the best of 5. And I was like, my God, I studied for an 88 and I got 96.2. Which means that even if we study an hour a day, but we understand everything that we study and apply everything that we study, it is not difficult to get whatever you want. Though I didn't top like the people around me expected me to, but for me, I did a very good thing, because after the complete breakdown of confidence, getting so much without studying, it was really like an achievement for me. Before ending, I would like to thank people who actually helped me in this journey. From school, Shubha ma'am, Geeta ma'am, Padima Basin ma'am. The three of them really made learning and coping with studies really easy for me in the past few months. I would like to thank my parents, my brother, my teachers, my counselor, as well as Anjumas. She really helped me with Chem, a subject that negativity in a bad phase is like oxygen in a forest fire. It destroys everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanmani. The world is powered by these ideas, and we hope you got inspired by these stories. Team Junoon JML promises to stay motivated even for the coming sessions. I would like to thank the management, Mr. Rajiv Hazrat, who is the president of Gujarat Research Society, our honorable principal, Mrs. Damayanti Bhattacharya, our honorable vice principal, Mrs. Geeta Sani, Mrs. Sachi Mane, Ms. Purnima Basin, Mrs. Shilpa Gandhi, Ms. Saloni Lakhya, Krish Tanwani, and our teachers for supporting us and the audience. We hope to see you for the next sessions, and we hope that you had a good session. Thank you.